Ronald and Cornelius, you are two seasoned property investors, and your new venture, Four Green Houses, you decided to, as part of your due diligence, to use Gauteng property inspections for an inspection. Please give us some information why.
Look, hi Marisha. So the important thing here is we enter into joint ventures with aspiring property investors. And a lot of these property investors don't understand due diligence, they don't understand feasibility studies. So part of what we bring to the table is proper due diligence on a property, because as property investors we make our money when we buy. And that's why it was so important and crucial that we bring Gauteng home inspections in to do the property inspection for us.
Ronald, and it's the first time you followed me around on a property inspection. What stood out for you?
Oh, quite a few things actually, eh? So when we went to the back at the cottage, even though you just mentioned that there's windows that are opening into the house, that was already a trigger on your part, and you're like, let's get this room open, let's get this room open. So when we got inside, we realized it's actually built against the boundary, and that's why the windows were there. They were actually potentially on the original plan. So now that triggers the zoning, or the certificate of occupancy is going to be critical for us to have a look at.
Cornelius, what stood out for you on today's inspection?
Well, the very important thing for me was the building plans. I mean, we received the building plans from the seller. We thought everything is in place, but when you started looking at the building plans, you started asking questions that we didn't even think of, which is now giving us grounds to either renegotiate the selling price or the freedom to walk away from the deal. So that was very valuable for us.
And what about the items that were not declared by the seller?
Yeah, you see, that's the thing. We received a seller declaration form, which is law in South Africa. And on the seller declaration form, he confirmed there's no damp, there's no this, there's no that. And when you came and you did your inspection, you found that a lot of the things that he declared was in order was actually not in order. So you really saved us a lot of money and trouble into the future, and most importantly, our relationship with our investors, our joint venture investors, because we can now, with a sound and safe heart, go to the investors and say, this is the inspection report that we got from Gauteng Home Inspections, and this is how we're going to move forward with this report.
And what about the asbestos? Because that's a big thing. You never realized there was asbestos in the house?
Not at all. And it's something that I think we even came across our learning at some point. But even us, when we're coming to look at it, we're not walking in and saying asbestos, asbestos, you know. So your presence being there, you're quick to point it out. So I think the one thing was the asbestos. Then there were a couple of other things, even like going on the roof, for example, you know, climbing the ladder and taking pictures. Oh, the trees are going over, etc. You know, so those type of things don't come naturally.
Yes.
You know, investors are focusing mainly on numbers. How much is rent coming in? Let's get on with it. You know,
Yes.
But those other small things all contribute.
They do.
And the great thing about dealing with you is you make sure that we as investors purchase a sound investment from the word go. We don't have any surprises afterwards, and that's why our joint venture partners,
Exactly.
they know. I mean, when we bring these joint venture partners on board, we say we work with a network of property professionals, and you are one of those people who add value to the deal. So thank you very much for that, Marisha.
What I also want to add to that in terms of the professional network is even the legal guys behind the scenes. So for example, on our offer to purchase, we made sure that the offer was subject to an acceptable inspection done by our own inspector of choice. You see, so now when we get the report, we can go back, as Cornelius said, to renegotiate or to pull out. So that was also legal advice, not just inspections, but they're all coming together in this one big circle.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, and good luck in investing further.
Thanks,
Thank you very
Marisha.
much.